grind of everyday life? Are you fed up with not having energy to get up in the morning? Do you constantly feel as if everything is colored in grey and life constantly plays sad music everywhere you go? And for some reason, it always rains wherever you go outside.
Well, turn that frown upside down. The Legion of Memers is here to give you some chuckles, you thingus. And we're happy to bring you something to help give you that extra kick to get you up in the morning. Introducing Coffee Brand Coffee. Fresh roasted with no gimmicks and plenty of flavors to choose from. Use code HAIL the LOM to get 10% off and to help support the channel.
Hail to the Legion of Memers! Hail to the Legion of Memers! Woo! Hail the Legion of Memers! 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 How are we doing this week? Yeah, good. Wait, Mo, you just switched your background up on me.
I did.
Oh man, they're trying to confuse me. I see how it is. Well, welcome to Legion of Memers Memestream Saturday edition till we have other editions, hopefully further down the line. But let's get started by saying thank you to Coffee Brand Coffee for letting us be a part of their affiliate program. If you're going to get coffee, please use the code HAIL the LOM for a discount and to show them we sent you. So appreciate you. So let's get started with intros. We got CJP. CJ, my man, how's your week going?
Pretty good. I had a fantastic show on Thursday with both Mo and Iron hopping on, reminiscing about the soundtracks that came out in 1984. I've seen several of my memes actually come out in the wild and other people sharing them outside of the circle that we're in here. And I'm like, my boy's out in the open. I'm so proud. He's made his way in the world.
This is why I always say tag your memes, not because of ego, but so I can see it circle around the planet, come back to us, and be like, yay, and celebrate with you, because I only want to see everybody succeed, and good work deserves to be shared with the rest of the world. But yeah, CJ, you got anything coming up this week?
Well, I do have the show coming up Thursday. I'm still working on a guest for that one. I did drop... I've been playing around with AI music with some help from Mr. Grant Gregory, and I dropped a long forgotten song from an obscure '60s British invasion band called the Flunkies, and it's called It's called Spicy Dish: The Saga of Taco Bell, and in ode to Ryan, of course.
That is awesome, man! I can't wait to see it. If you guys are watching the show, make sure to clip it and share the scenes that you like and you enjoy. We got new members to the Legion joining us today as co-host. We got Mo Zamboni, my man. What you been up to?
Oh, just everything. I've been on streams trying to get out videos for from my channel, the GCA. Trying to ride this acolyte algorithm, but it's So far, it's been pretty fun. Just memeing, doing that thing. Just trying to stay busy in the culture war.
Yeah, man. You know, the part of being part of the culture war is also creating some of your own content and sharing it with the world. You have to start somewhere to make a change, even if it's a really, really bad meme. Don't worry, your next one will be better, and the one after that will be better. Just keep on working on the craft and have fun with it, and don't be a creep. Those are my that's my advice to you. I will be putting out a video in the next few days about how to do what we do and get attention from your favorite creators. So be sure to be on the lookout for that because it's my first scripted video. So, Iron. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over your thing. I was just very excited about it, man. Iron, my dude, what's been going on?
Oh, been a pretty busy week, man. Kind of like Mo here. I've been just kind of floating on a bunch of other shows throughout the week. We had just hit episode 20 over on my channel. So slowly but surely making some progress over there. I got Professor Savage Dad as my co-host. And I actually, to try and bring up the watchability level, we have a lot of fun on our show, but I realize it's a little chaotic. So I decided to bring Jack Tarlad in as producer, and he's doing an amazing job. You know,
shout out to him, great dude.
So kind of like Batman and Alfred, I just work for him now. So he's the British guy in charge, and it's making a huge impact. So big thanks to Jack and everybody involved in that show over there.
Awesome, man. That sounds great. Everybody go watch it. Go follow him on Twitter, and that way you can get the updates for it and drop some memes and have some fun. Great chat, great people, and practice your skill with your favorite creators. Extra Zero, what you got going on, my dude?
Man, it is hot here. It's very hot. So I don't have my green screen up because I've got a nice little fan blowing on me right now because it's ridiculously hot here. But, it's been a busy week for us too. And my wife's been car shopping. This coming week will be my last week at my current job. So I'm excited about my career change kicking in on the 1st. So I don't know what my training situation is going to be for the new gig, but I'm excited for the change. Good things are coming my way. This Friday I will be on Side Scroller, so I'm really excited about that. And hey, if you can hear, my voice is back after my bout with bronchitis. I think I'm finally sounding back to myself. A little bit.
Hey, bronchitis.
I kind of missed your voice like this.
I know, like
waiting for the reports to come in, Wazowski.
Yeah, I missed Eastwood Zero. I made some moves today. You feel lucky, punk? My name's Extra Zero.
And as you can hear in the background, we have a very special guest today. We got Tiny Butt Spears. What's going on, Tiny?
Not too much. As Extra Zero said, it's very hot, and I decided I was going to take a shower, so I'd be nice for the show, and then I can't seem to get dry enough to put my clothes on, so I'm going to be sitting here with my screen up.
And all of a sudden, retention rose on our show.
Hey.
Well, thank you for being here. Hopefully everything works out a little later. Chat, behave yourselves. But I am Superman, if he wasn't scared of Green Rocks, leader, creator, and founder of the Legion of Memers. And I am working on a few videos to help everybody. I have decided I'm going to go down more the educational path rather than anything else, because I feel like a lot of people don't even know where to begin or how to start. So I may as well just give you the beginning steps. And be sure to be on the lookout for that either on my channel or the Legion's. And it will be the way I do things and the way I make people smile. Everybody has their own way of doing things. So hopefully it helps you. Hopefully the education will take you a bit further than it would if you had to search all over the place, because I've seen thousands of hours of education, and now I'm pretty. I've taught even some of you guys on this panel how to get going. So, but without further ado, let's get started with some topics for today. First of all, we're going to talk about what is going on in the community. Extra Zero, can you bring up the first? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Before we do that, we should shout out our awesome folks hanging out in the chat. We got 48 people watching us right now. So if you're watching here live, well, we have 48 people on YouTube. I haven't checked Rumble.
We have Rumble, YouTube, and Twitter set up. The Twitter is on my channel. So if you're watching on Twitter, drop a like, drop some memes, make sure to hashtag and @ the Legion, and we'll bring it up during the show. I do have the Rumble chat up, but sometimes I do need to refresh it. So I will refresh it and see where we go.
But yeah, we got right now we got a couple of folks watching over on Rumble, but we got 52 people. We jumped up here over on YouTube, so we got a lot of people. So if you are watching live, don't be shy. We like making you all a part of the show. We'll be highlighting your comments throughout the course and shouting you out. We got a whole bunch of cool folks hanging out already, so we'll go ahead and give them some shout outs real quick first. The same goes for Rumble. I've got the Rumble chat up, so don't be a stranger over there. First and foremost, we got D-Day McLean, awesome member with the LOM emoji. I wish it showed up on StreamYards, but, is what it is. We appreciate you being in here and hanging out. We've got Star Wars Marvel Purist saying, hail the Legion and the chat. And
bro, that's a really cool PFP, dude.
Yeah, that is awesome. I just now noticed the Magneto in there. That's
I thought it was Nick Vader, and then I looked at the side. That's awesome, man. Nice work.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got somebody. Who's this Iron Oxide guy?
I don't know, man. This guy, the picture has a beard, but the guy I'm looking at, I don't know what's going on.
Saying, hail, LOM chat. Hail to you,
hey, shout out to Cremando, who is a new member. Thank
Woo-hoo.
you.
Hell yeah. Cream is an awesome dude. Looking forward to the next time we all get together for some gaming, because I think we're all planning on playing some Chained Together real soon. So we got a serious man with a
hey, my dude, what's up?
What's up?
We got Oculus. He's not on the panel today, but wishing us the best with a hail. We've got Cream Nando coming in with whap 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 whap.
Well, come on, man. At least throw a hot two in there.
Dino Rama, hail the Legion of Members. Hail to you. Good, sir.
Dude.
Got our friend Tina, Bad Take Bojan, saying good afternoon, friends. Good to see you, Tina. Always a pleasure to have you in chat. Star Wars Marvel Purist come back, saying Mr. Grant Gregory is a good one. I cannot refute that. We've got Diana Gordonier saying Iron Oxide.
Hello.
How's it going?
And Jack Darlett saying, it's all you guys really. I just keep you on track and saying, hail the Legion, hail chat.
Humble man. We also check Rumble as well.
Oh, let me check Rumble.
Still
and Phantom SG13 saying always down to watch on the green.
Always watching on Rumble. Always watching.
We got a good friend, Steel Leg of History, coming in saying,
man.
hello, how are you doing today? Be blessed. I hope you're doing great, man. And I hope you're also blessed. We've got Selena coming in saying, hail the Legion, hail chat, hail
Hey, Selena.
And that gets us caught up. So I guess now we can head over and we can talk some community stuff.
You see, I'm always ready to go. It's to reel me in every now and then. Appreciate you, extra.
Yeah, well, hey, I mean,
That's what co-hosts are for.
yeah, exactly.
Producers.
Yeah. So let's start off with the big thing. I mean, I know everybody wants to talk about this Amandla. That keeps throwing me off. Amandla Stenberg. And for those that don't know, she put out probably one of the cringiest music videos, if you can even call it that. Hey, Alec Baldwin's finger dropping in with a hail. Good to see you, man.
Oh, sir.
And Phantom X, hail chat and mods.
Hail you, my dude.
So let me get Twitter pulled up here. So I'm assuming everybody has seen that music video, right?
Yes. And now, Extra Zero, do you want to explain why we will be not sharing that music video?
Yeah. So she put out this music video basically baiting her critics. And essentially, she's not taking the poor reception to the Acolyte from the long-standing fan base too well. So she put out this video that, you know, I want to say, I guess the best way to be reductionist about it is to say it was her Colin Kaepernick moment, where she came out full force activist and was kind of dancing like a dead fish, and basically crying and screaming about oppression this, oppression that. How that ties into Star Wars and criticism and automatically labeling people as racist and bigoted for not liking a piece of media from a large, if not the largest media corporation on planet Earth is beyond me. But she challenged her critics to openly react to her music video. They did. And a lot of people showed it. And I think most of our ears will never recover because it's just that bad. But the kicker is she's been copyright striking anybody who's shown the video or critiqued it, you know, shown clips of it or critiqued it. She's copyright striking them. So
here's how I would put it. It was so bad. I would much rather listen to the entire catalog of Yoko Ono's work than that.
Oh God.
Whoa.
That's how cringe and bad it is.
And, you know, the sad thing is, one of the things I learned about Amanda, and I was not familiar with her prior to this Acolyte stuff. You know, she's been an employee of Disney's since she was 4 years old.
Yeesh.
So she's been a paid Disney actress for 19 years.
Yeah, there's no way her brain's not broken.
Yeah.
Question though. So with these copyright things, there's been a lot in the news about a lot of these, you know, kind of copyright claims and things like that. Do you think if people were to fight this, that she would fight back?
Here's my thing.
Question.
I think we talked about this, or somebody did. It basically, they don't. I'm sorry. Craig talked about it. He's basically like, do we try to face it and get a strike, or do we not? Do we? Like it says on there. You know, do you trim it out, or do you just appeal the rejection?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So you have big creators who can actually fight these things, but you know, mid to small creators can't fight these things because one, they don't have the money, and two, they don't want to reveal personal information because people are crazy. And we have a story later on in the show where we're going to get into why it's so bad. But you know, I don't expect Craig to fight it. I don't know. What do you guys? You think they should take a stand? Like,
I would say appeal at least once.
Jeopardize the channel.
Try to fight it at least once and see how that goes. I mean,
yeah, I do the basic minimum to just start the argument or whatever, and then if it looks like it's going to be an uphill battle, then make a decision then. But it looks like you might be able to actually get a reasonable person to look at it, because the whole point, as you guys said, she specifically put it out there for people to interact with, to people to so the idea, I mean, it's entrapment. Here, I'm putting out a video. I want you to talk about my video. Oh, you talked about my video. Now I'm giving you copyright slip. I mean, it's insane. It's entrapment.
And just so you know, like, criticisms or not, I will not copyright if you guys are taking clips from the show and doing something with it. No. I will warn you, though, in the beginning and at the end of the show, the music we have is from a paid service. So if you get hit, just a heads up, I can't do much about it unless you have that paid service, and then I'll find you the clip or the link to it, and then that way, if you have the same service, you'll be fine. So, you know, just a heads up, anybody who wants to do it.
So my take on it is, like, here you can see this is a YouTube problem, and this is YouTube rejects the concept of fair use. Now, Craig is in a fortunate position where he has 2 additional platforms, 3 technically. He has Twitter, he has Locals, and he has Rumble. I don't think that they should fight it on YouTube because it's going to kill the reach that they have. But YouTube can't do anything about Craig directing his audience to check the critique and criticism on X or Twitter, Rumble, or Locals.
Mhm.
And so I think in his case, it's not worth losing their reach, and it's not worth losing their ability to stream, because that's his and Blab's livelihood. You know, that's their full-time job. And so I don't think it's worth fighting it on YouTube, but I do think it's worth fighting.
I mean, does anybody else agree or disagree?
No, I think that's probably the best approach. I mean, what would you think about trying at least one appeal on YouTube?
Well,
if
he did
go
appeal
through.
So
yeah, if you see right there, dispute rejected.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if
Then
he,
no,
but if he
I think
repeals
just
the
make
ejection, oh yeah. Okay.
Instead of editing it out, just put in for full context, see Rumble, see Twitter or X.
Well, right, and that's kind of mine. And you know, to answer the question, like, what if he appeals the rejection? Well, he can do it, but if the appeal is rejected, they get a channel strike and lose their live streaming ability on YouTube for the foreseeable future. Thus, only being able to stream on Rumble or Locals, and you know, again, a lot of their engagement comes from YouTube. I mean, we believe in All Tech. We're on Rumble right now, but
we're on Rumble, my Twitter, and on the Legion YouTube, because I want to get the reach out there as much as possible, because I know some of these topics will most likely get hit by somebody. So if you see it disappear off YouTube, it's because we got hit with some sort of strike or something or warning. So it will have the backup on everything.
But here's my thing. Here's my thing. I don't know if this battle's worth losing the war for.
Yeah.
Everybody's sick of the song. The time has come and gone for the most part. It's on the way out of the news cycle. At least, I don't think the ends justify the means.
And to your point too, the Streisand effect goes both ways. She wanted this 15 minutes of fame. Prior, again, she's had a long-standing career as an actress, and she's using this viral moment to be her own Streisand effect. And
if you check the Rumble chat, Phantom SG13 says, "You all don't want to EFAP a mumble song for the next 2 hours, one frame at a time?"
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
I like
and
CJP's idea.
Yeah,
that's what I need to do. I need to find a bunch of Yoko Ono screeching and just redub it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we can show it because the way she's copyright claiming it. But if you follow, we've had him on the show. X-Wings Hanger did an awesome edit of the song where when her wind machine kicks in to blow her hair all over the place, it's just fart noises, and I'm like, wow, you actually made the song. I can now listen to this and be entertained.
Have you seen Perry Chan's mashup of the Cantina song?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh,
Perry Chan's
my
is
dude,
hilarious.
that is incredible.
Oh yeah,
almost switch that out.
Also can't show Perry Chan's because it has the footage.
Yeah.
You can also
put it in the private
replace
chat.
the Cantina song with the Benny Hill theme. And
So yeah, I'm going to put this in the chat for X-Wing Hanger and give X-Wing a sub.
Iron, drop the link in the chat too, because we want Perry to get some attention. Perry Chan is put it king at this kind of stuff. But so go check out Star Wars Theory and Perry's.
We actually haven't talked Star Wars Theory yet.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
So
we can actually play this video.
Yeah, so Star Wars Theory, and also let me do an audio check on this, because you know how StreamYards has been lately. So does that come through?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Star Wars Theory has been also put under a bit of Star Wars Theory is a guy, he's probably one of the biggest Star Wars commentators on the internet, period.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a very neutral guy. I think he, for the most part, tries to get along with everybody from all walks of life, just trying to relate to them on the basis of being a Star Wars fan. I know, some memes and some jokes go his way, but I think at large, everybody views him as, a pretty decent guy. And he's just pretty neutral. And he's come under a bit of fire lately. And we'll play the video. We'll probably play with the first minute and a half or so. But he writes, I do not condone threats. I also do not appreciate slander and defamation to my brand / company for things I've never said, stated, insinuated, or purported on my behalf or to the fan base. Any defamation will result in legal action at my discretion, as it is becoming quite a large public issue. I take allegations very seriously.
These are the kind of videos I just really don't live for. I just don't like doing these kinds of videos. I think they're so ridiculous. But here we are. You guys remember during the live stream? I'm not going to drag it out. The live stream with the watch party, and you guys were spamming chat like crazy. Like, check Wikipedia. They just changed it. And I did. I reacted to it. I'm like, holy crap, they're actually changing it in real time with like no reason whatsoever, just because the show says so, and like changes everything like that. What was pre-established for they had what they had written for however many years, and then they just boom like that, change it on a show that really makes no sense and has no business putting Kiadi in there. So now, I guess because I'm making good arguments, they have a few psychos, a few assholes that are going around sending them death threats. And now their audience and they themselves are purporting that I am the one sending these threats. It is me, my responsibility, my fan base, my people. And I made a statement on X from Twitter that is erroneous, that is ridiculous. How many times do I have to make videos where I denounce this kind of behavior? I mean, if we're
do me a favor, pause it real quick.
Death threats, I think
So it's of course we agree with him. Like,
Yeah.
We're in it for the humor, we're in it for the memes. Like, don't make anybody feel, like people like it's not something we should be doing. Don't go out and harass people. We don't play that game. If you want to make a meme, but don't go harass people.
So
but it's funny he says this because there was a guy on Twitter who was saying if you're over 60,
Yes.
did you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
And then he threatened to punch people in the face. And he's on the other side of the Star Wars. He's not with he's on the side of Wikipedia and all those folks. So the only violence I've really seen that's not like trolls, because a lot of trolls, they're so raw, they go into everything and they just, screw it, I'm gonna just emotionally explode on everything. But like normal people, they don't go out there and do this kind of stuff. And I would not condone this behavior at all.
Also, Theory's original post that he's mentioning here, that he's like, I made a post about this already. I watched it yesterday or the other day when it came out, and he was like, look, I've said this a lot of times. No, I don't believe anyone should do this. This is very dangerous. This is very bad. But I've gotten to the point where the name Star Wars Theory is now my company and my brand. And whereas I might be able to deal with people saying things about me, now you're actually taking shots at my livelihood, and I will not take this sitting down anymore. And he's at least 3 different times he's now mentioned legal ramifications. And the irony for me is, when I was growing up, I really thought that there was the country was a little too litigious. There was a lot of stupid lawsuits going on, especially my childhood was the hot coffee from McDonald's and a lot of these stupid things. Now all I want to do is shoot the living shit out of everybody. I mean, growing up, I'm like, we're way too litigious. This is ridiculous. We have all these stupid lawsuits going on. And now it's just like, well, I don't want to go to jail, so I can't walk around punching these idiots. So I guess I need to learn how to sue people.
and for those that aren't in the loop, so I'm sure everybody watching and everybody on the panel is part of one fandom in one way or another. But in real time, we've seen the Star Wars fandom get hijacked by people. And it's been interesting because in the past, like as a longtime X-Men fan, like the Fox X-Men continuity was so muddled. I mean, look at the weird age changes for Emma Frost in the Fox universe. For instance, is one example. If you look at like X-Men Origins, and then when was she again? Was she in First Class?
First Class.
Yeah. So, people would dispute that civilly. I mean, I'm a Transformers fan. I dislike the Michael Bay movies, but the people had no problem openly debating the continuity issues among those. Star Wars, for the most part, has always had up until recent years, has had a airtight continuity, or they try to make things work. And if something didn't work, people were civil in debating them and how it could fit in. this is such a weird retcon with Ki-Adi-Mundi, who again it's just the weirdest thing because this is the second time they've really done it. In Obi-Wan they had that face off between Obi-Wan and Vader, which made no sense given the line in A New Hope. And here again we're seeing this with in Episode 1. He was the one to say the Sith haven't been seen in 1,000 years. And also, too, based off of material. So, again, Theory knows his stuff when it comes to Star Wars. He's a walking, talking encyclopedia of this knowledge. He's like, wait a minute. The official data and everything that was there between the Wikipedia entry and some of the supplemental materials. And a lot of these characters aren't even named in film. They just get named on supplemental material like Topps trading cards and in books. And everybody draws those stats into canon. And a lot of it, in this case, his birth date was signed off on by George Lucas. So they're changing established information that Lucas himself signed off on. And the fact of the matter is they're threatening him with violence because he's just questioning a retcon and saying he disagrees with it and that it's silly and it changes the lore. And again, I to end my rant, it perplexes me. It seems like everything Disney has done since taking over has been to diminish anything and anything surrounding the Skywalker saga between the prequels and the original trilogy. They're trying to downplay it. They're trying to make it meaningless. They're turning characters into liars. You had all these Jedi survive Order 66, so it makes Obi-Wan and Yoda look like feckless idiots. When all the other Jedi were running out on adventures and doing all this cool shit, they turned into hermits, and they did the same thing to Luke. And it's just people who are passionate about something. I always think back to that Henry Cavill thing. There aren't toxic fans. There are passionate fans. And these are passionate fans that want the best for the franchise.
Well, I slightly disagree with that because there are people that will go to your house and contact your family and things like that if they don't like it. You know what I'm saying? That's where I think toxicity exists. I don't think toxicity exists because, you're changing a character and the guy's like, hey, bro, you can't do that.
But even those people, especially on the center to right, they're like on one hand, I can count them. Like they get that frustrated and they're already nuts.
But we don't even own those people. We don't even include them as part of the fan base. Like if you're going to be violent with somebody, I don't think you're a fan. I think you're a zealot.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That is a good term for it. Be a fan, not a zealot. So I want everybody to go to Star Wars Theories Twitter and watch this full video because it deserves so many more views, and just reshare it. Even drop your own opinions on it as well, as long as you're not being a booger about it. Put your actual opinion in there, whether you agree, disagree, interact with it. And he's making some really funny skits, so go check out those skits as well. I do want to bring up, we did get a super chat for $2 Peruvian, if I'm not mistaken.
Peruvian, yep.
Oh, well, there you go. I see. I'm educated in some things, but not the rest. Hail, nerds. What are your zodiac signs?
Neon.
Aquarius.
Aries.
Libra.
Sorry. There's an old T-Rex, not T-Rex, T-Bone, where he's doing this retelling of the Wizard of Oz in a funny way, but it's like he met this girl with psychic powers, and she said, T-Bone, what's your signs? And I blinked and answered neon. I thought I'd blow her mind.
I agree with Isaac in the chat, but I am Libra. I forgot by the way.
The bow and arrow dude. Hebrews Sagittarius in English. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Which is why you see my energy. That's what everybody says. I don't think it matters, but hey, whatever. But shout out to Rumble Chat Phantom. SG13 says same for D&D fandom, same for Marvel fandom, same for Disney fandom, same for Transformers fandom. All is getting hijacked by FOMO babies.
Mm-hmm.
And what other chats do we have in here? Isaac says I stand with Star Wars theory. Omni's next one says I gave up on Disney Star Wars a year years ago. I don't care anymore. Yeah, I'm at the point of peak apathy as well. I think that's where a lot of people are. And the only kind of time I really comment on it, if it's like super blatant, like with what Wikipedia did, where they kind of like stealth changed it while like the show was happening to like make it to. I don't know. I feel like it's basically gaslighting everybody, and that's super scummy. Like they could have been like, okay, guys, we are changing this because the show did this and that, just a heads up. And they could have kept. I don't know. Maybe they could, if they wanted to be like honest, they could put like Disney Star Wars and real Star Wars, but have like separate areas for the two. But they're not going to do that because that's too freaking logical.
I was going to say, look at that flag in the bio.
Yeah,
that'll tell you.
I think that they're just trying to, they keep trying to say modern audience, and to what I had mentioned about them diminishing the impact of the Skywalker saga. I think that they want the Skywalker saga to be an insignificant portion, but like, look, guys, we're building the bigger picture. And they think that's the path forward to building a new audience, to passing the torch, when it's not. You have to respect the past to build a meaningful future.
Just a
great
heads
example.
up.
That's Cobra Kai.
Yeah. Just a heads up. We have
They successfully
117
bridged.
people watching right now. This is the
117.
we've
Wow.
ever had on the show.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to the Twitter audience. You guys are absolutely crushing it. If you're watching on Twitter, you like what you see, and you have some memes, make sure to retweet, share some memes, at Legion of Memers and hashtag Legion of Memers. And thank you, guys. You guys absolutely rock. Sorry, Iron, I interrupted you.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I was just saying they did a great example of making you care about the new characters while also respecting the originals, bridging the gap, giving them both equal screen time, and gradually throughout the show's progression, kind of lessening the Daniel and Johnny scenes and focusing more on the new cast. But they did it seamlessly and in a respectful manner. And they could have done that with Star Wars, even just in 3 movies. They just dropped the ball completely.
Yeah. And that's, go ahead.
I was going to say, not to put a tinfoil hat on, but I'm sorry. They've taken all of the greatest IPs that had duty, honor, male strengths that were positive, and they've destroyed them all in a way so that men suck. They can't do anything. There's no such thing as a hero's journey. There's no such thing as moral imperatives. There's no such thing as objective honor. And I'm sorry, that's
There's
not
no
for
tinfoil hat
audiences.
there.
That's
That's
to
the
destroy all audiences because I'm sorry, what you ingest fiction wise, your brain can't tell the difference a lot of the times from fiction and reality. So if you put in nothing but this crap into your head, that's what you think. That's what you believe. That will affect you. And I'm sorry. I think that kids could watch old Star Wars and get a lot out of it. Modern Star Wars is going to turn your kids into little fucking monsters.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's completely injected with
to that end, if I may,
not good storytelling.
Yep. So I do have a child, and he's approaching his teenage years. But yeah, no, I basically weaned him off Disney. All you gotta do is whisper in their ear, and they're like, it's not that good. And you know what they say? Okay. And because there's so much more content. It wasn't like when I was growing up in the 80s and stuff like that, where there really was just like, you had your clamshell tapes of Disney, and you try to get it before they got out of before they went back in the vault. Yeah, you know, and we'd all have those collections, at least of our favorites. Now it's like, whatever, I can go watch, like a Hacksmith, or, just there's so many other things that they can
you mean I can go watch the streaming, the content creators I love to watch and enjoy watching instead of watching everybody else's bullcrap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People don't realize the world has changed. You can keep putting out absolute garbage, but there will be people who are going to start creating things in this culture war, and those people are the ones that are going to get more attention. And I mean, look at Star Wars Theory, man. He's making those parody videos now, and people love them. And you know what? Have fun with it, guys. The world is dark and full of crap. Be the light you want to see, and hopefully it'll change things.
And I do have an additional point to build
had
off that.
Something he was trying to say.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I thought CJ was trying to chime in.
Oh well, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's all part of now. It's the four olds.
Yeah.
You have to get rid of all of the old to bring in the new, and that's what they're doing with every single IP that we've grown up and loved. They're destroying it because
Back in the
old
back in the 60s, back in the 60s, my grandfather was invited to China to speak, and my grandmother was taken around by one of the government aides or whatever to show all the stuff that they wanted to show to the Westerners. And she kept talking about the new man and the new this and the new this. And my grandma just looked at her and goes, "What did you do with the old man?" And she just goes white. And then just starts taking them out. Because you have to admit, yes, we slaughtered them all.
Yep.
Big shout out.
The other thing.
Hold on one sec.
Sorry.
Big shout out to Jizbot199 for $4.99. Hail the 199, guys. You rock. At this point, to me, Star Wars ended after Revenge of the Sith. Everything Disney Star Wars is lame and
Pretty much.
I agree.
Why are you gay?
Sorry, Mo, go ahead.
Not to get off topic with the
Okay.
bigger issue, but did you guys see the re-edit of the ending of the Rise of Skywalker where Anakin returns?
Yes,
and
I saw
defeats
that.
Palpatine?
I'm not sure if we can play it, but it's amazing.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't.
if anybody, I'll put the link in the chat. If anybody hasn't checked that out, I mean, that saves that piece of crap trilogy in 5 minutes.
You throw that in there. Mo, what were you saying?
So I was going to say one more thing. Everybody, you were talking about new creators and things like that. This isn't like in the 80s and 90s when everything in the 50s and 60s was corny, like Batman, which is enjoyable in of its own accord. There's everything from the late 70s on is rewatchable and is evergreen and exists. There might be a few anachronisms in there or things that might seem a little old, but they hold up and they've been remastered. So they're not like, it wasn't like watching The Rifleman with your dad. There's so much good stuff. Oh no, it was great. I can still hear the theme in my head, but only my dad whistling it annoyingly every single night. But there's such a backlog of great shows, and we've got 4K remasters. They haven't touched the content yet. They're trying to, but there's so much good stuff out there, and there's surreptitious ways to get like with Star Wars. They have the Harmy Despecialized editions, which are clean versions of the Star Wars that I grew up with. So it's like they have to fight. Yeah. Oh, Full Metal Jacket. Yeah.
Yeah, because they erased the Born to Kill on the helmet.
Yeah, that's how stupid these people are. They don't understand the duality, the peace sign and Born to Kill. They're right there together because people are, it's the duality of humanity. But they don't understand that because they only understand one side, and that's the side they learned in college.
They only understand the most simple of obvious things. They can't understand nuance or subtlety because that takes a certain level of intelligence.
Well, to that point, nuance and subtlety have kind of gone out the window in a lot of modern entertainment. For the people that are like, what are you talking about? X-Men was always woke. Star Trek was always woke. If you go back, Quantum Leap was another one they were talking about recently because of that failed reboot.
Mm-hmm.
All of those shows may have had things and concepts that had a left leaning, but at no point did they tell the audience or shame the audience in a way of, at no point did they tell them how to think or feel or shame them for feeling in another way. They just opened up another argument for you to consider. And sometimes they would show the duality of that. Star Trek in particular was great at that by having, hey, let's evaluate both sides. Obviously, we might have more of a more liberal leaning bias, but at no point did they ever tell the audience that you're wrong for thinking a certain way. They just said, consider the alternative.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I get really, really angry now. Like, it used to just annoy me. Now I'm getting to the point where I'm getting really, really pissed off. These things were not woke. None of those things were woke. Stargate wasn't woke. Farscape wasn't woke. Trek was not woke. None of this was woke. Because woke is by definition flat and empty and boring. You want to have a female in charge? You can have a female in charge. You want to have the female...
I vote Tiny. Anybody else vote Tiny?
I for one am looking forward to my tiny overlord.
Yes.
But I mean, like, my point being, there are all of these things. They go, well, it was always woke. No, it wasn't. If it has a female in charge, that female has good parts and bad parts. She has a full, well-rounded, multifaceted personality. She has flaws that she overcomes and changes. I mean, there's a video that I'm someday going to do a reaction to and rip apart every single second of this asshole trying to explain why Farscape was so woke and that people who don't like woke shit shouldn't be able to watch it, because I'm sorry, Aaron Sun was about as un-Mary fucking Sue as you can get. There wasn't a single female on that show that was just super perfect, and the one who tried to believe she was the most annoying character in the show, and everyone hated her. On the show, the characters hated her because she tried to act like a Mary Sue. It's the whole point.
Well, what I think of what they've lost and what the woke doesn't understand is metaphor and allegory.
Yes.
Yeah. They want direct one-on-one. This is what we believe, so we're going to put it in this character, and this is what you should believe. They don't understand
allegory. There can be any side aspects to it. It's just what we say, the way we say it, and there are no hero journeys. There's no character growth in any of these things. Male, female, or whatever they want to call themselves. It drives me nuts that they try to say that things that had such intellectual creativity as a part of them, and they try to compare it to these boring one-dimensional POS things they create today. And I'm sorry, there's no comparison.
So real quick, on the Rumble chat side, Phantom SG13 says they already do. We need to amplify more, I'm assuming more of the good content than keep beating the bad. All hail Bluey, Ripperverse, Cobra Kai, House of the Dragons, Catharsis is great, but we need good too. Absolutely. And I do think that pointing out the criticisms is a good thing, because people will get inspired to be like, you know what? I see how frustrated it makes all these people. Maybe I will go and try and create something myself. Yeah. And that's the whole point. We can fight the culture war all we want, but if we start creating our own things, I think it's gonna, once the
Epic Verse is coming up with it.
Exactly. Like people like, Epic Verse and Ripperverse and all those things. I think once the pendulum really starts to swing, people will be almost like a glass of nice cold lemonade on a summer day, and they will be so refreshed. I hope each one of you watches the Legion of Memers, watches the Epic Verse, all those people, and get inspired. Go create and have fun. Create the things you are missing in the world.
To Phantom's point too, I think also, we'll keep it moving, but we're 47 minutes in. We've been talking about Star Wars. I think one of the problems with like the way legacy media has been hijacked is the criticism dominates the conversations, and it's very easy for us to fall into it. We do like to promote things that we're excited for here, but it's very easy as content creators to get sucked in to talking about this stuff at length, because it's, we're passionate about it, and we don't like that they've bastardized things that we loved.
I mean, bro, everybody else already does it. At least let's take a different perspective.
I get it. And I think one of the things that's disheartening about what's happened with legacy media versus the new stuff. So there's one thing, whether you like Ripperverse or not, whether you like House of Dragon or not, it's undeniable that these things that are successful are being made for a general audience. And that's the one thing that all these modern audience people ignore, is that the MCU was initially successful because it was made for a modern audience. Tony was flawed. Pepper was flawed, Rhodey was flawed, but they were all people that you liked, you could relate to, regardless of whether they were white, black, man, woman, gay, straight. They put characters on the screen that you could see parts of you. It wasn't even seeing parts of yourself. It was the human experience. Star Wars, Galaxy Far, Far Away. None of these people are truly human, but you found things about them, whether you were male or female, you could relate to. I was at the premiere for episode 1 when I wasn't a kid, I was a teenager, but I was there, and it was not an exclusively male thing. Star Wars always spoke to a general audience, and they like to do this revisionist history bullshit where they're like, "Oh, this was all male centric."
Yeah, no, fuck that.
yeah, these were phantoms. These were properties that anybody could enjoy, and they're missing that with, well, this just isn't for you. You had enough. You and this gaslighting thing, I can't stand it. Where they're like, well, you had years where things were made for exclusively white men, and it's not the case.
Not true.
Yeah. And they get people to believe it, and people just love to believe what they're told, and that's part of the problem too. And exposing people to new good things that are made for general audience, you just got to remember that there does need to be a degree of not necessarily gatekeeping, but making sure that the source of the truth and why this exists and what the mission statement is clear, concise, and no matter how much, and this is what these people do, is they love to change the language. No matter how much they try and change and twist the language, you do not lose sight of that mission statement to make a piece of entertainment that engages, is relatable, and makes people think and has nuance.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and you know what's great, though? A lot of things are tearing people apart, but there is one thing that will always bring us all together, and that is memes. So let's give a huge shout out for the person who absolutely crushed the internet in the past few days.
One woman has single-handedly killed Pride Month.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
CJP, you are no longer safe on Twitter. I told you, wait for it, bro.
I marked myself thank from getting my thanks bet on.
So no matter how you feel about whatever she's talking about, you have to admit the meme material and the energy is absolutely fantastic. And I think the fact that so many people were just having fun with it, I have not seen this kind of being brought together on like a meme in a very long time. So
I think really the last person to do it was that motherfucker back there is not real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They should do a remix with her and
Haktua.
Haktua.
Yeah. So for people that don't know, this was a man in the street interview, and apparently this girl is a pastor's daughter. She's not anybody famous. But the man
makes it even more funny to me.
the man on the street interview was the interviewer saying, "What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?" And her thing was, "Well, let's just play it. Let's just play it." Oops.
Man go crazy every time.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. You get me?
I'm trying to see what that be like right now. Look, be that. What's
so a lot of people are reading into it more than they should be. Enjoy the meme. Have fun with it. Don't be the party pooper, man. It's I gotta say, whoever this Pookie guy is one lucky man.
So this is from Know Your Meme. If you don't know Your Meme, it's a great site that just gives you the background on any meme that has any semblance of being viral. So we can play some of these.
Hold on, harmonica says, do it.
I'm sure we'll probably see one of these pop up when we get the memes later in the show. And also,
there's already an AI country song for it.
Yeah, I saw that. That was nuts.
There are remixes. Bro, if you got music skills, go have fun with this. If you're a rapper, throw this in there. Have fun, guys, because this is hilarious.
So if you go to Know Your Meme and you go to the meme section, there is a green screen version if you want to make one of your own. Let's play a couple of these.
Hold on, we got
before
10
we do.
bucks from Golnorama, my dude. Very generous. Thank you so much. Did one of the Legion of Memes make that meme for the You, Me, and the Movies review Hellboy? I think it's hilarious. It's about 40 seconds. I'm not sure. I will check it out. Can you just DM it to the Legion Twitter, and I'll check it out to see if we can play it on stream? Because we're streaming on YouTube, and YouTube is asshole.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Audio.
Yep.
And spit on that thing. You get me?
So the caption there.
Oh,
My mom, I can't wait to meet your new girlfriend. The new girlfriend. This one says, I don't like their media player.
Yeah, their media player.
When people ask my wife, how did you get him to buy you new jewelry?
You gotta give him that hawk too and spit
So,
on that thing. You
no matter how you feel about the content of the meme, she's having fun with it. It's enjoyable. It's not hurting anybody. It's not doing any damage. So go have a laugh, have some fun. And if you have the skills, CJP, are you working on it right now? Because I see your eyes down there.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be a video.
I know my meme eyes.
This was one of my favorites that I saw.
There was one Blab sent me that was with when what was it when Ginny Weasley takes Harry it tells Mrs. Weasley that Harry is like them they're together and it says that Mrs. Weasley does the Hawk Tui thing and I absolutely ugly laughed at that. Like I snorted. It was bad. So just have fun with it. What?
Hawktua is old Cherokee thing for
is indigenous for birds.
bird who defecate on face. You got the Hawktua.
Oh man, y'all are killing me.
So someone now has to meme CJP as a chieftain explaining this.
Now, when it comes to memes, we are the Legion of Memers. So what I appreciate most about the Legion is that we share our skills with other people, helping rise the whole community at one time. So I want to give a special shout out. We've given him a shout out multiple times before because he does some fantastic work. Core member has made or found a website which is absolutely amazing. It's called Hydra. Can you bring that up?
Yep, I'm trying to get the link here.
Oh, I didn't enter it. There you go.
There we go. All right.
You have to excuse me. I did not get a lot of sleep last night. I was not at my top.
There we go. Let me get this shared out. And is the audio good on this one?
Yeah, the audio is good on it.
All right. So this is actually Hedra.com, an AI site for mixing audio with a photo. Not a lot of voice choices in voices, but it'll let you upload audio and images or create new ones of each. This is the only English accent that he was able to find. So let's give this a play.
Behold the divine alchemy that is pineapple pizza. Its creation is no accident, but an exquisite symphony of flavors, where the succulent sweetness of pineapple melds with the rich, savory notes of melted cheese and tangy tomato sauce. This is not mere food. It is a testament to its sweet potential.
That's pretty awesome.
Done, dude.
That is firmly in the uncanny valley, though. That is so creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty unsettling.
Yeah.
I think if the mouth moved better, it wouldn't be quite as bad. But it feels like his mouth's moving and the sounds are coming out even when it's closed.
I think the sounds are I think his mouth, it thinks it's the flavor saver is his mouth.
Behold the divine alchemy that is pineapple pizza.
Yeah.
It's like something from SpongeBob almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he saw it, he thought it was cool, and he gave everybody the tools to use it. Now, as with every tool, be responsible in the way you use it. Don't be a fucking weirdo. Go have fun with it. Do it with comedic intent, not a weirdo. But you know what's really cool? If you go to YouTube, you can actually do a search function on a lot of people's videos and scripts. And if you were so inclined, you could find the exact words that he said and just audio clip them and put them in there.
I didn't know you could do that. That'd be a good member video.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll add that I'll add it to video I'm making.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of any audio voice AI generators? Because I know of a great one.
I can't not read. I didn't look at his voice.
I have on CapCut. I actually I pay for CapCut Pro, and I have input my voice into the auto generator. So like if I type something out, I don't have to say the whole thing. It'll do it for me, which is pretty awesome.
Well, there is a site called fakeyou.com where you can get most celebrities' names, most celebrity voices. It depends on how well they're trained. And you can type in and make them say anything.
Is it fake YOU?
Yeah, fakeyou.com. It has like little furry creatures on there, but I did that when I did my Ewan McGregor in the car when I made him say a man Les Stenberg. That was fakeyou.com. Sometimes you got to search by the character name because it won't be the exact actor, but they have some really creepy ones, like where they're really on, like it almost sounds like they're talking. It is an awesome site. It is really funny just to put stuff in there, and they'll even let you download the file as MP3.
So if you look, there's a video I have on a mouth movement app called Mug's Life, and if you pay for it like one time, I think it's like $10 maximum. You can forever make your own mouth movements, which is something I do. And there's a little tutorial on there if you do so choose to learn that. And it will take time, but once you pick it up, it'll definitely help you out in your editing work.
Cool.
Extra Zero. I know there was something specifically you wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, well there were a couple things to do with VR. So, we've talked about VR a lot since I've been on here. I'm actually a pretty big advocate of VR. I actually own a few headsets. I own both incarnations of the PlayStation VR, and I also own a MetaQuest 3. I love my MetaQuest. I absolutely love it. I use it a lot. But I believe in VR. I know a lot of people are critical of it. But I'm a firm believer, like if you try it and you try it in the right setting with the right setup, I think a lot of people are gonna like it. So this news makes me sad. What's that?
Sounds like we're dropping acid. You want to be in a good environment with people.
you need to have the space, and you got to be in a spot where you have the room and you have the right setup, and you have, like, when I say this space, you really do need to have like a 10 by 10 square foot area. I'm telling you now, if you haven't ever played it, Half-Life Alyx is like the Mario 64 of VR games. It is revolutionary. It's an experience. I wish there was a way for people to experience good VR, because I think most people's experiences with VR is phone VR. And I dislike Meta as a company, but I think they've made an awesome product with the Quest. And I stand by that. I just wish that, it's sad because we're in the post-COVID era, so they can't exactly put demo units, and brick and mortar isn't what it used to be. And you go into Best Buy and the employees are like, they all look like they're ready to go in the warehouse room and listen to Pink Floyd's Great Gig in the Sky before they just drop a toaster oven on their head, But I think the challenge with VR is most people don't get to use it. I mentioned back, like, when it was my wife's birthday, we went to Dave & Buster's and she got to do VR for the first time. We did this Godzilla experience and it was amazing. Like, they have this thing, it's a rig you sit in, and it's like you're in a VTOL, and you put the headset on, and it's actually like a 4D experience because they're blowing air in your face, and you have this big chain gun, and you can see it moving around, and like the rig that you sit in moves. It's so cool. I think PSVR 2 is an awesome product. It's actually got haptics built into the face. So if you're playing like Gran Turismo 7 and you hit a wall, you feel your head impact against what would be a helmet. Wow. It feels like you're wearing a racing helmet.
Are we sure we want to feel that?
Yes. It's not like you're getting hit, but you feel like a vibration in the controller, but on your face. But it's all haptics. It's all sound-based haptics. So, like in Resident Evil 8, when you fire the shotgun, you actually feel it push you back. And it's the weirdest experience that you don't really, it's hard to explain until you're actually in the headset. But not to go off on how much and how enthusiastic I am about this technology. Unfortunately, it didn't catch on. And Sony is allegedly pulling PSVR 2 funding per report. So this came from an anonymous source. And essentially, I think there was a lot of too little, too late with this. The price of PSVR, it was one of the more expensive headsets. Sony did a terrible job marketing it. In fact, they didn't market it at all.
I don't think I've even heard of it.
Yeah, and that's the challenge is most people that like are just kind of, you know, they're not big into VR. Like they didn't do that big of a marketing push. They kind of buried the VR store at the bottom of the PlayStation 5 store. This is a PS5 exclusive device. It doesn't work on your PS4. The biggest offenders of it is they didn't make it backwards compatible. They said, oh, well, the PSVR 1 relied on camera tracking. And the sad thing is prior to the Quest, the PSVR 1 had the largest ecosystem for VR games and the biggest install base. They had 2 million concurrent users for PSVR 1. And so they didn't bother to make the games backwards compatible because, so the thing is, the PSVR 2, it's a single cable connection and it has 5 cameras built onto the front array of the headset. And they could have, instead of using the an external camera, reconfigured it so that the headset figured out what you should have been doing, but in reverse from the perspective of the built-in cameras from the headset, not a camera facing the user. So they shit the bed by not making the large ecosystem of games backwards compatible. The PSVR 1 had a bad setup with a breakout box, and then the initial batch of units didn't account for HDR. So if you have a television that uses HDR, and I love HDR, if you have that original breakout box, if you have it hooked up to your TV, your PlayStation won't be able to output an HDR signal. And the problem was the revised box, which I also have, doesn't support 120 frames per second. And a lot of games, 4K 60 is a conversation people, a high point of contention for people on Xbox and PlayStation 5, because for whatever reason, games don't support it. But a lot of games do run, 1440 or 1080 at 120 frames per second. So if you have PSVR 1 hooked up to your PlayStation 5, which you also need an adapter for, you cannot output 120 frames per second. But the PSVR 2 connects through a single USB-C cable and allows you to do, it doesn't interfere with any output from your PlayStation, your TV. So that's number one. Number two is it didn't have PC support. So a lot of people could have picked this up. Hey, it just connects to your unit with a USB-C cable. It would be a no-brainer to make it work on PC. Well, Sony last month announced that, you can use it on PC, but you got to buy a box. Okay, well, how do you get the box? Well, you got to go through PlayStation Direct. And Tiny, you said you didn't hear about this device at all. Well, that's because initially you couldn't buy it at Walmart or Target or GameStop or Best Buy or any major retailer or Amazon even. You had to buy it through PlayStation's Direct website. And when you hear PlayStation Direct, you're probably thinking, that's just where they reveal new games. No, they have a store called PlayStation Direct, and that's where you had to buy it. So, the report goes on to say that they don't really have any plans to release any additional first-party titles for the device, and it's a shame because they really shit the bed with it, in my opinion. And they missed out on what could have been a really successful thing to bank off of their ecosystem to, hey, we can market this to PC players. So if you want a really good high quality VR headset that you can use on your PlayStation and your PC, we have a solution for you.
Yep.
And they didn't. And it just makes me sad.
But yeah, and you know what?
I don't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, please, by all means.
Well, I was gonna say I don't actually game, which is the thing. But 2 years ago at Comic-Con in San Diego, there was a booth all about the VR stuff, and it was the different things that VR can be bringing to us. And there was, of course, some gaming stuff that I got to try out a little bit, which was kind of cool. But the thing that really got me was one of the headsets would connect to the internet and then was connected to the NASA site, and I could put a headset on and see what the Perseverance rover on Mars was seeing.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
awesome.
the coolest thing in the world for me. And they were talking about ways of doing it for like adding it to get streaming or video from deep sea cameras, and also like all these places we can never go. I mean, I definitely can't go in my wheelchair, but most people can't go to the bottom of the sea or to Mars or to all these places. And you could see it. You could really see it and really feel like you're there. And I've been so excited about that type of tech from VR that I actually pay attention to VR to a certain degree because of it. And yeah, I never heard about this at all. And from what you're saying, it would have been a really cool program a really cool device to maybe use towards that type of stuff as well.
Yeah, to that end, one of my favorite moments, and it doesn't have to do with the game. I had the first Oculus that had all the lighthouses, and there's a Google Maps program that is on there, and it is really cool. So not to make everybody sad, but this is how cool VR can be. So my dad had just passed away, and I was talking to my mom and stuff like that. So we put in the address of where I met I lived across the street from my wife when we were kids. So I put that address in, and she put the VR headset in, and she got to see the house that we were raised as in kids. And it's like the power of that, like you don't understand. Like you can put yourself in these locations that you haven't seen for a while, and it's visceral. But like that kind of stuff's cool. I have a $200 setup to drive a car. I love VR driving. That's like the best. That is like super fun. But it is, there's to bring it back around to like PlayStation and Sony. Sony has always missed the ball in peripherals. When the Xbox 360 controller came out, I bought the Xbox 360 controller before the Xbox 360 came out because I wanted to use it on my PC because it was PC compatible right away. It took PlayStation forever. You had to like fake it to get like your PS3 or your PS4 controller to get it on there for the longest time. And you would have thought they would have learned that because they were giving up all these controller sales, like tons and tons and tons of sales that they gave up to Xbox or Microsoft. And right now they're doing exactly what they did. Like, okay, we'll add support for that, 5-6 years into the PlayStation 5. It's like, what are you doing?
Well,
like,
the
PS5,
the DualSense controller did work on PC out the gate, but I think that they missed the mark more than they succeed. I do agree with that because like the PlayStation VR 1 I thought was a really good device, and I was glad to see the support there. And I think their hubris tends to get in the way, and they're not forward thinking enough. And the PSVR 2, it's disappointing because I just think it was a really good device. Now, again, I think I'm glad I have my Meta Quest, and I'm going to continue to use that. That's going to be my main VR device, and I love the versatility of it. I despise Meta as a company. I really do. Yeah. But they made a device that's affordable, that's lightweight, that can be completely wireless, that can be wired, that works on your PC, works remotely on your PC. You can sideload apps without voiding your warranty. It's part of their package. If they ever take that away, I'll be pissed. But right now, if you enable dev mode, you can put whatever apps you want onto your headset at your own risk, of course. But there's sites like SideQuest that curate these and test them for safety.
Love SideQuest.
And yeah, SideQuest is awesome. And
virtual desktop was the best. They snuck in that feature where it was wireless forever. Yeah.
You know what I was seeing with a lot of the VR stuff, because I'm super into editing. And I saw one of the guys I know buy it specifically for editing. And I was like, this is the coolest shit ever. But this was on the Vision, which you have up. It was on the first one. And I'm not paying how much was it?
It was $3,500. Now I bring this up.
Gaming computer for that.
Yeah. You definitely could. This is supposed to be a replacement. This is supposed to be, not necessarily supplement to your Mac, but it can work as a replacement. So this is, we're going off the bad news of what's going on with PlayStation to potentially good news. Now, I was very critical of the Vision Pro, and I still am, and I still think that the Meta Quest 3 is a better buy, and there are videos showing how capable the Quest 3 is at its price point. The Quest 3 is $3,000 less than this, and it's just as capable. So Apple's original plan was to do a Vision Pro 2, a more powerful device. Instead, they realized the error of their ways, and they are focusing on a cheaper model. So it's nice to see that even though this is a failure, and say what you will about Apple, they are being receptive to their mistakes and realizing that they need to build consumer confidence to make a good headset.
Like, I would have bought it if it was something that was affordable. I don't like Apple products. I never have. And I know a lot of editors specifically use Apple products. I just can't bring myself to do it. It's a lot of retraining and if I ever want to go back to PC, it's going to throw me off. So I'd rather just stick with the PC stuff. But if it was $500, right, I would have been able to save up for that and be like, you know what, I can justify me spending $500 on something like this because it's really cool. And you know what, since it's $500, this friend has it, that friend has it, this friend has it, and kind of create like my own community within that world. And I think with these technologies is if you outprice people, especially in the world that we're living in today, the product isn't going to do well. Sure, people will still buy it. Like the rich people will still buy it as a status symbol. But how many of them are you going to sell compared to, let's say you bring it down to a more affordable price for the everyday person? You would have been seeing far more videos of people walking around with these things. You would have seen hundreds of them. People would have been having conversations, and it would have been nuts. But because everybody was outpriced, and a lot of people just bought it for content and then sent it back.
Yep. Well, shout out to Cream NATO. I do gronking as well, and Cream always brings up this point when it comes to hardware. He talks about the day when we had loss leaders, and you would sell your hardware at a loss, knowing that you're going to make up the money on software. This is a brand new product with a brand new ecosystem, and Apple gets a cut of everything in that ecosystem. So the article goes on to say that the cheaper variant is going to have fewer features and be cheaper. It doesn't say or speculate on what those features are. I think it's going to be getting rid of this stupid I can see your eyes gimmick. Hopefully they find a way to integrate the battery into the headset so you don't have a thing hanging off of you. But why they Meta gets it. Meta's selling their headsets at a loss because they know people are going to go in and go gangbusters buying the software and buying into that ecosystem. And part of the challenge is Meta has a lot of the market. They've got a lot of people that have already, like myself, have a plethora of apps on it. So if Apple wants to get into this, they need to have a cheap headset.
Absolutely, dude.
It can't, and 500 is the limit for most people. Even if it goes 600, 700, you're like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't, because as long as the frame rate is high enough and it's believable, because when you're talking about 120 frames per second, if you're doing 60 frames per second in VR, you will vomit. Like, it is, it is awful. Yeah. Because when you turn your head like this, that's more than you need, because if you don't, you'll get that motion blur and it'll disorient you, and it's the worst, dude. Yeah. Like, if you get a stutter playing VR, you get sick. Like,
I got my Quest just for Skyrim. I didn't last 15 minutes in that game, and I haven't picked it up since.
So
exactly what you're talking about. Like, oh, okay,
yeah, it's.
Yeah. So Phantom SG13 on the Rumble chat says, as cheap as the Quest is, I can't justify buying hardware that Meta can brick if I do something quote wrong in the Meta system. Actually, no. I got it. I despise that company, but they listened to the consumers and removed the Facebook requirements. And for the past year and a half, I have not had my Facebook account tied to my Meta account. It's just been solely a Meta account. Yep. And so I will give them that they removed that. They listened to the consumer backlash. And again, I think that's a good sign. Again, you do have to keep an eye on these companies and push back, but they did listen to the consumer backlash.
So, I'm not a super tech smart person when it comes to this kind of stuff. Is there any possibility that they could just turn it into like a touch or like a VR screen instead of having all the programs inside there?
What do you mean?
So, like, instead, how there are touch screens that you can like get an attachment to your PC, so you can turn it into like a touch screen. Can you do the same for VR?
Yeah, you can cast to it.
Plug it in and then use it as a monitor.
Yeah.
You can touch things. Does it support? I haven't tried it in a few months, but you can. I thought this was the finger tracking, the hand tracking was pretty good on my. I have a Quest 2, and I did finger tracking, and I was using it with stuff, and you could just kind of go like this or pin. It was pretty good. The problem is, and here's the problem with me, as you can probably tell, I'm not the smallest guy. I have a giant head. I have a size 8 head. It looks like you could see this stuff around, and I even have like a guard, a silicone guard, which helps out a lot. but it is really uncomfortable. Even though it allows for that head size, for me, it gets uncomfortable after a while. And the longest I can go is 30 minutes.
When he just showed his eyes and put his hands over his eyes, if anybody's making memes, I want you to crop out the rest of his face, keep his eyes, and put it on the Legion of Memers logo.
Pleasure being here. Thanks for having me.
He's like, you guys.
I'm good.
So, actually, there, what we got on the list?
Well, so, talking about editing software and all, I'm sure everybody's heard about this, but Adobe has gone full on anti-consumer. And man, you hate to see Adobe doing this, but yeah.
Hey,
good to see Jess in here.
How you doing?
Yeah, I got a nice little thing that happened to me on the end of my workday on Friday. I am a graphic designer by trade, so a website for one of our clients we designed, and this what's made. This is good. This will give you like an idea of how inept Adobe is. When like one of the pictures that I bought from their stock Photoshop came up with a copyright claim.
And
so this is the level of professionalism that you expect from Adobe. So, anyways, go ahead.
I was going to say, for the people that don't know, explain to them what it is that Adobe's doing. In terms of they pulled a 180 on how Photoshop operates, and there are other products too, because this applies to Illustrator and Premiere too, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
It's the entire
their whole
Adobe
suite.
Products,
the Creative Cloud suite.
After CS6, they went to a subscription model.
Yes,
I had to pay every year, and that's why I still use CS6 and refuse to upgrade.
So, Mo, you said you were in the graphic designs area. So,
absolutely.
From as somebody who uses this kind of stuff for work, can you explain to people who may not know exactly what's going on, why people are so upset with Adobe, and what the responses were from Adobe that made things even worse?
Well, okay, so what happened is when you do graphic design, when you do anything like that, when you do production, confidentiality is an important thing, and protection over your creativity, because people could, if you don't release it and you don't have a copyright on it yet, you could lose your information. So the two big things that come from this, before I get into it farther, is they say that they have the ability to sub-license everything that you make, which as a creator is bullcrap. If I make something, I own the rights to that. And if you're going to put in the terms of service that you own it afterwards, that's a problem. The other problem is that if you like Adobe Acrobat is part of the Creative Cloud, and it can be scanned. So if you have confidential contracts, those can be viewed by Adobe, which is when you see at the bottom there why they're getting sued by the U.S. government. I'm almost positive. But the biggest problem is that they can judge you by the work that you do. And if they decide that you've made something untoward, that they can cancel your account, which is the worst part. That's the part that has most people upset. Most professionals like me, you're obviously not going to make anything like to that level, but the problem is that you are going to have your information. Basically, they basically can sub-license everything that you make, which is ridiculous. It's the premise of graphic design, video production. I own what I make, and I can either sell it to you or I can let you use it under contract. That's up to me. Now, if Adobe's going to swoop in and take what I made, that's like a game breaker. That ruins the entire graphic design game. Yeah. Like in video production. That's the problem.
Alec Baldwin's finger brings up a great point too, saying that they're trying to build customer data for AI. And again, it's just, why would you do that given what your products do? Your products are designed for human creators. And if you're going to create AI models, you're going to make your own product irrelevant. Who is the customer going to be at that point? Because
that's what
you're going
the problem is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what the problem is they're trying to surreptitiously take people's work, because that's all it is. All AI is a very
recomposition.
It's a really high level search system where it can put stuff together.
Yeah.
So what they're trying to do is they're trying to train their system with other people's work. I can almost get allegedly, but that would make sense. so that they can get all these people from all over the world with all kinds of different design languages and all kinds of different ideas of what things should look like. And they're going to take all of this stuff, throw it into a trainer, and then they're going to have AI programs, and they're going to phase out these programs 10, 20 years from now. So what they're trying to do is trying to pay for people's own career's demise, and it's sickening.
And when people go reach out to Adobe because they're sick of this crap, what happens to them, Mo?
Usually, if you have an account, you're paying around 50 with taxes. You're paying around 52. Yes, you get a cancellation fee, which that is usually half of your remaining months. So if you have 6 months left, you pay for 3 or something like that. So that person had probably just re-upped, which really sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they will. It's in the contract there. I always knew that. Like, you have to be careful.
Well, it says they have 2 days remaining on their subscription.
No way.
Yeah,
that's not how it used to be.
Yeah, right here. 2 days remaining on your subscription. After June 15th, 2024, you'll lose access to premium apps and services.
So even if you cancel it.
And look at this fee, $137.97 with 2 days left to go.
That's insane. I've never had that. That's news to me because I've canceled before. They don't usually, because usually they try to keep you. They'll like say, oh, well, okay, we'll make it $30 a month or $40 a month, which is what they did for me from time immemorial because I've been using it for years upon years. Yeah, right. But yeah, no, that's, oh man, seriously, people, look up Affinity, look up Inkscape, look up GIMP. Get on something open source and learn that. It's a little different, but they won't be stealing your information.
I use something
GIMP.
called CapCut, which there's a couple versions of it. There's mobile, there's the website, and there's the PC app you can use. You can also pay for it too and get extra features. But I have not had any issues like this with them. Like if I wanted to cancel, I could straight up cancel because I just paid for the year. And I waited for like a holiday because, I got that holiday discount. And, it's worth it to me because I do a lot of work on there. And they have photo editing things. I'm just not great at that. If you give me a phone, yeah, I can definitely do it. But on the computer, I'm still not very good at maneuvering. I'm more of a hands-on learner. So, it took me a while to get used to editing on the computer. But now
oh my goodness, dude! If you told me to meme on a phone, I'd look like one of the apes from the beginning of 2001. I'd be like,
90% of what I put out is on my phone. Like,
it just shocks me.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say put CJP and me up top, man. We use a computer, PC Master Race.
Hey,
we get to talk. Go ahead.
Extra Zero, myself, we come from humble beginnings of watching the show wherever we can and using whatever we can to make any memes that we can. The phone was the easiest because I could watch it, look up, and then make the meme at the bottom and just throw that out there.
There were times
Heresy.
back in 2023 when side scrollers first came on where I'd be like, oh, I got to run an errand at lunch. And Craig or Blabs, Travis or Adam would say something, and I would find a place to pull over and make the meme and post it to Twitter.
He'd be like, "Hey man, I'm pulling over and make a meme." Like, what are you doing?
So I'm sure somebody will be like, "Yeah, they'll think differently of me now." But yeah, there were times where I literally would just like pull into a parking lot, like, "Oh shit, there's a Walgreens over there," and pull into a spot.
Oh, that's part of the fun. Is just stopping everything. Yeah.
And then there is
Totally.
like one occasion where like I made the meme and then I got back on the road. It's like, okay, yeah, I'd scratch the itch. And then like Krigler would say something. I'd be like, oh shit, I got to pull over again.
Not the second part, but the first part is good. Second part, I'm with you on that one.
And listen,
yeah,
at the end of the day, use my philosophy is use whatever tools you can in order to make whatever you need. So desktop, mobile, Adobe, DaVinci, CapCut, a million other programs. If you find that program easier for you to use it. There is no right or wrong way. Just create and have fun.
I have a little bit of a prediction that one day a memer will arise who just draws their memes on lined notebook paper and just takes a picture of them
The AI chat memer, and just he's
Oh,
like,
no AI. Like they're just taking like
Like analog?
fucking, like, yeah, like let me grab a piece of paper here.
I still make my
Like-
memes in MS Paint.
Like
stick
I'm
figures.
gonna draw my meme on lined paper.
You know what? The future is this week. I'm gonna do it. I got a moleskin, and I'm gonna draw a meme. All right. I don't know about you, X0. I know you can illustrate. Let's do it.
Oh,
Let's
have
blast
you-
from the
have
past.
you seen my my drawings?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yes.
great. They're really good.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys
they're
don't
very-
know, he works with the Gronk Squad and the full Aussie crew. He's made different pictures by hand of some of the individual members that, let's just say, aren't exactly flattering, but everybody loves them because they are really, really funny.
I even drew myself.
And just hold on. Alec Baldwin's finger,
There you
Etch a
go.
Sketch Memers
Hell-
Rise.
hell, if
That
there-
would-
My son has one, the original. Yeah,
if
let's go.
we ever get to the point where I could be like, okay, guys, I'm buying you all an Etch a Sketch. We're gonna watch this one live stream, and we will take pictures of what we were able to create with the Etch a Sketch. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, you know what? And you know what the next stream would be? It would be all of us with carpal tunnel gloves on and trying to go like just wincing every 5 minutes.
Big shout out to everybody watching on Twitter. I did not think that so many people would be watching. Currently, we have 121 views on it. And
Jeez.
altogether, it is more than Rumble and on YouTube that people are watching. So big shout out to the Twitter crew, guys. You guys absolutely rock. Same thing with YouTube and Rumble. But, I want to give a big shout out because it's our first time ever streaming on X. And I was like, it's probably not going to be good. But you guys absolutely came in and rocked it. Holy shit.
Well, I like the way X does it, or Twitter does it, whichever. I struggle with what I want to call it these days. But when you log in, they'll be like, "Hey," they're really good with the notifications, like, "Hey, so and so is streaming," and it gives you the opportunity to see that, like, they are, they're doing the thing, and I like that notification.
That is freaking. You know what I love? Everybody in chat right now, chainsaw carving.
Yeah.
Oh, core member.
You can see mine in the public bathroom stalls.
There it is. Hey, I got a question real quick. Tiny,
Ice carvers.
Tiny, are you streaming behind me? Or like, what's going on?
Oh shit!
Are you really behind me?
They're
the
in
hell?
the same house.
The call's coming from inside the house. No, okay, I'll change it. I was.
Oh man.
Well, I mean,
go ahead, Ted.
if you want to, hold on. If you want to see my practically like pharmacy needed of supplements and everything.
It's all good. I noticed that. I was like, oh, I know that background.
Honestly,
Drugs
I
are
like
bad.
your background. It reminds me of a whole bunch of bars I've been to. Like, I used to hang out in a lot of bars in the Middle East, and like a lot of like the punk rocky bars have that whole bunch, that background.
Yeah, I was
Super
gonna say
nostalgic.
it looks like a fresh market, like supplements or something. You're just like, oh, I feel like right around the corner there's gonna be like a hummus or something. So.
Well, when I was in the Corp Cadets at Texas A&M, I was health and safety officer for my unit, and like the freshmen would come in like. This is before I got really sick, but I always had I had vitamins, I had supplements, I had anti-inflammatories, I had everything.
Core member, I do see your chat, but
Yes.
currently we have 143 people watching on the Streamlabs side. So I do agree with you, but at the moment we only have 6 on Rumble. So I'm not sure how many people are watching on YouTube. Anybody want to check? Or I'll just do that myself.
I can do it.
Iron, you bloody legend. Shout out to the any memer who is memeing during a show and just drops it like a freaking boss.
20 watching right now on YouTube.
Yeah.
So Extra Zero. What else do we got?
We got one more thing. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier in the show with what's going on with Amandla Stenberg. But this is a bit more of a W. This has to deal with Tech Lead and some admissions about what's going on with the copyright system.
So how many of you guys know? Okay, so a core member, we got 21 on YouTube, 6 or 7 on Rumble, and 120. So just minus that with 145. But how many of you guys know of the history of Tech Lead?
I'm unfamiliar.
Okay,
I am.
So,
it's weird.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm subscribed to him. I don't know why. I have no idea. I don't know how I got subscribed to him. I think he had one good video during the lockdown. I'm like, oh, and I never watched anything else. I just know he's quitting tech every single day. So,
he's quitting tech as a millionaire.
Yes.
But for those of you who don't know who Tech Lead is, he was a pretty big YouTuber at one point because he worked with and inside Google. And at one point he finished and he created a whole crypto thing. And CoffeeZilla, if you guys don't know who he is, he does excellent exposés on people who have scammed people in their community. He does a ton of background research and really explains it for the layman. So if you are interested in the history of Tech Lead, I highly suggest to go check out CoffeeZilla. Go check out Mudahar's videos on it. You have Charlie's videos on it as well. These people really get into the meat of it. But what was most concerning for me, Extra Zero, do you have the thread of where the video is?
I do. So let me get this.
So what was extra pause it for me, please?
Yep.
What was most concerning, and the thing I do want to bring up is this gentleman called the Internet Anarchist creates a lot of videos about different creators in the YouTube space. Now, this gentleman, Tech Lead, or this scumbag, whatever you want to call him, basically is abusing the YouTube copyright system to censor any form of criticism against him. And this idiot made a YouTube video explaining why he does so. Now, the thing is, it is now deleted because it caused outrage in the community. So if we get hit from Tech Lead, again, this won't stay up on YouTube because it's not something I can actually fight. He knows full well that smaller creators can't fight against it, and he has no intention of taking everybody to court. He just wants them silenced. So
and that's part of Amandla's method as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
exactly.
yeah.
Just like in the beginning of the show when we're talking about her, this is the same type of behavior, except this guy is bragging about it publicly like a complete moron. So why don't we watch this real quick? A shout out to the Internet Anarchist who put out a thread and everything like that. Go check out his YouTube channel as well.
Okay.
Audio?
Muted.
StreamYard's a StreamYardin'. Bear
Okay,
with me 1 second.
I
wish they would fix that. I'm just gonna go and tag them. Be like, can you fix your thing?
Please.
There we go.
Because I understand that I tend to copyright strike down any expose videos on me because I understand that these are not real exposés. There's no journalism involved in here at all. Welcome to the world of business.
So CoffeeZilla just made a video addressing the fact that these expose videos have no journalistic integrity, which is complete and utter baloney.
Even if you don't, most journalists today don't have journalistic integrity.
And CoffeeZilla on his most recent video on his channel, I think it's CoffeeZilla 2. I'm not really sure. I watched it just before the show. He actually dissects this video because the guy deleted this video off of YouTube. And he shows the DMs that were sent to Tech Lead asking for information, and Tech Lead completely avoiding anything. So continue, please.
Where people are afraid that they're going to be doxxed. Well, if you're going to come into business and do business in this world, yes, you're going to be doxxed. You better have an identity. And so then he takes to Twitter.
That's insane.
So there are a
That's
lot of
insane.
people.
No, you should not assume that you're going to be doxxed just because you're in the freaking YouTube world or streaming world. That's insane.
Now, there is always a possibility of it, but so there are a lot of people like me who prefer not to have their face plastered everywhere and prefer not to have the identity out there, just because there are a lot of people in this world who don't have boundaries, and they will come after your family, your job, and everything like that. And for me, I have responsibilities other than YouTube, and I'm the only one who has them. So if anything should happen, I will be SOL, and it's not something I can risk. And doing this to any creator, to force them to reveal their identity in order for you to go dox them, and even if it's not you, you will send it to somebody else for it to then spread all over the internet, is the scummiest fucking thing in the world. And I hope this man has his YouTube channel taken down and hopefully serves prison time, and not just for the doxing and the endangerment, but for the scams that he has created, abusing his community. Please continue.
Complaining he's going to have to dox himself to the tech lead. So you're saying I have to share my personal information to tech lead or let my video be taken down? He's afraid he has to be doxed if he wants to counter the dispute. YouTube jumps in and says, well, you can also hire an attorney if you want to represent yourself. Well, yeah, this is business, right? People have a complaint against you. You can't just be a nobody and hide behind anonymity, right? One of the main reasons I will actually copyright strike.
So does anybody agree with this?
No.
Absolutely not.
I haven't agreed with almost anything he said.
So just because, there are people out there who do things in bad faith and, go out and then try and ruin people's lives from behind the face of anonymity. But people do that everywhere. You don't need to get their name. You can go online and do all that stuff. If your purpose is to go out and just beat people into submission like a fucking bully, that pisses me off. I don't like bullies. I make memes, but I never go to the area where the meme is in bad taste.
I'm going to agree with Harmonico on this.
Yeah. This guy definitely has an AI lady boyfriend. So he's about to tell us why he does things like this. The reason why we're pausing through it is to add the commentary, just in case he decides to be a fucking twat.
Track a video, though, is I want to know who's behind the video, right? I want to know who these people are. What if it's somebody I...
What if it's somebody he knows? That's paranoia. That is straight up paranoia.
Also, too, what is your right to know who's behind a video? What is your right to any content creator's information? Especially since most, I would say the bulk. It's not even an estimation. It's a fact that probably 99% of all content creators, maybe 95 is a better estimate, are not monetized. They're just using the tools that are available to them to put their videos, put their thoughts out there. What gives you the right to know, and what gives you the hubris to think that you have that right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, also people talk about rights all the time, and it's like, okay, you're making these up. A right is something that people have established and agreed that is connected to something in a way. Like we have the right to free speech, we have the right to arm ourselves, we have the right to all these things. You don't have the right to know what somebody else's name is. You don't have the right to. I mean, it's not like in the past, if you used a nom de plume, that anyone had the right to figure out who had written the book. Lots of people use nom de plumes.
Anonymous author. What was they call it?
A pen name. Yeah.
Yeah, a pen name.
You said it. Nom de plume. Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole thing is, it's like, I mean, I'm sorry, speaking as a female and historian, it's how most women got published, is you wrote under a man's name.
The Outsiders. That author. She released a yeah.
Look at Banksy. Whether you like or dislike Banksy. I
You
mean,
think he has the right to know who Banksy is?
Right.
Well, it's like, one of the greatest writers of Star Trek in the original series and Next Generation was DC Fontana, a woman.
Yep.
But she went by DC because it's the 60s, and
that's how you get hired.
You went back in the video. But
Yeah, I accidentally clicked.
Further.
I think we were right here. Like,
yeah.
Now,
will
I will
actually
say one thing real
copyright
quick.
strike a video.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Because I've looked into, I've listened to legal people talk about it. Doxing is not illegal, but it's incredibly poor taste, and you should, and you shouldn't do that.
Well,
but it is very, very, very bad. You shouldn't.
If
do it.
doxing leads to people harassing you, if doxing leads to people harassing you, swatting you, things like that, it should definitely.
Yeah, it's weird.
Sharing an address, there's nothing illegal about that, but if there is proven intent,
there you go.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, doxing is against TOS for most websites.
No, I mean like going jail legal, like legal.
Like, no, it's not illegal, but it's usually a violation of TOS.
Right.
Well, that's why I say his channel should be yeeted.
Yeah, it should.
Like Review Tech USA, I don't know if you guys are keeping up with him, but there's a bit of controversy with him right now because he's having disagreements with content creators who he disagrees with on an ideological basis. And audio got leaked from his Discord where not only was he trying to get personal information from people, but he's also, and again, I don't think Rich can do anything because look at him. But he's just trying to play. He's trying to play tough guy. But they have these audio recordings where he's saying, "I'm going to get their address and I'm going to make them pay. They're going to regret it." And it's like, well, that's to me. I see that as well. You can prove intent.
That's threat.
That's technically a threat of violence of some sort.
Yeah.
And this is why, like I always say, like it's okay if you don't like somebody, guys. I get it, but don't be a tool bag. If you don't like what somebody is saying, you can not watch their content and move on, or you could say something and move on. Don't go to the level of threats or violence or just absolute vitriol, because one, it's not worth your time, and two, it could put you in a situation of legal issues if you are not very, very careful in the way you do things. Now, most people don't go that far, but remember there's always a way for these people to get you. So be smart. Go ahead and play it.
Yep.
Though is I want to know who's behind the video, right? I want to know who these people are. What if it's somebody I even know in real life? Oftentimes these haters are people who know you very well, actually. I mean, this could be a real physical threat to me. Really, these scam tubers exist only because I allow them to.
So he's calling them scam tubers and
saying that they exist because he allows them to.
And critical videos of somebody could be considered right. In what world is that? Does that make any sense? This guy, I don't know what he is, but he needs to see a doctor of some kind because this guy sounds legitimately insane.
Narcissist. Narcissist. Listen to him. If somebody critiques me, I'm like, yeah, cool, all right. I don't even let it bother me. I'll be like, oh, okay, all right. Don't care. I literally don't care, but I don't let it bother me because I don't care. Their opinion means nothing to him. So if these haters that he's talking about, he wants
scam
to maintain.
Tubers.
Yeah.
He doesn't see the forest for the tree. He is a narcissist that thinks if he just shuts down all these people, he's justified in using a system the incorrect way to keep his high perch. But it's also he doesn't see that it's making him look way worse than if you just let. Because there's always critiques. There's critiques of everybody in the fellowship. And you look at it and you're like, that's silly. And you move along. They're not going to, it's not going to get the traction unless you do this. Like you're talking about earlier, he's just opening himself up to the Streisand effect.
Yep.
He's making way more people pay attention to him than before.
Extra Zero, why don't you play it? Because we don't have a lot of time left.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does he go anywhere else with this, or is he just?
I know he's just bragging about.
And I can shut them down anytime I like because I own all of the copyrights to the images and audio that they're using.
Fair use, bitch.
Yeah, I think we got. I don't think we can go on much longer with this because it sounds like this guy's just sniffing his own farts. He's full of himself, and he's what a creator shouldn't be. I know we got to get the memes, but I have one more I wanted to get, and this one is let's wash our
Listen, we got 152 people watching.
Cleanse
I'm
the
okay with
palate.
extending a little bit.
I have a great palate cleanser that's going to make everybody feel good.
I'm just saying he just suffers from
emotional damage.
So,
all right, why don't you share that next article, mate?
So it's not an article, but it's a quick video. Do you guys know who Kai Cenat is?
I've heard the name.
So
I think so.
I don't think it's. I thought it was Cenat, but maybe I'm mistaken.
I think it's Kai Cenat, to be honest with you. The dude who dresses up and does all the stuff. Yeah.
So
it's not up here. It's not up here.
I'm trying to drag it over.
All right.
And then I got to share back out because StreamYards is being super weird. So he's been into Elden Ring and he's been getting a lot of attention. So, this guy's had his share of controversies, but I think ultimately he's a force for good in the streaming world. And I love this because while he's been getting a lot of attention for his Elden Ring content, he knows who the smaller creators are, and he took time to shout them out. So I'm just going to play like the first minute or so of this because it's really good and it's awesome. And there's some people like talking in here like, oh, hey, they forgot you. And, like Miss Mika here saying a lot of people are tagging me saying Kai forgot me or should have mentioned me. First of all, thank you. But second, he did mention me right after the clip was cut. So he went on.
Nice freaking guy. All right, let's play it. I want to hear it. No audio.
Nothing.
Why is StreamYards like this?
StreamYards, please fix your shit, bro.
Yeah. StreamYards.
Why are you
Put on your VR headset and gain that extra power. That's what you need to do.
And, I'm a happy dude. I opened up a Millennium statue, and I'm a happy dude, and I played the game, and I feel like we went crazy the last marathon. But I did see a lot of people who was like kind of upset that people who've been playing the game for years or since it came out haven't gotten anything. So I went amongst myself and I did some research. Shout out to Let Me Solo Her for having me go do my research on some good Elden Ring content creators out there. The ones who stream hard as fuck. The one who put this shit in, who live, eat, and breathe this shit. Okay? I want to do something special for y'all. And I want to try to create something to where like I can create to where only you guys have it. Or like I can talk to them and see if they can send you guys something because honestly, I ain't gonna lie, y'all deserve it, bro. So let me read off this list real quick. Because I deep dive into this content and this I ain't gonna lie,
this guy is popular because he does a lot of video games and he live streams with different
and he's
different
positive
famous people, creators, and the energy he gives off is a more positive version of a lot of other streamers.
If I'm missing some niggas, put me on game. If I pronounce the name wrong, I'm sorry. We got Let Me Solo Her.
Magic. Oh wait, no.
We got Chase the Bro. We got Lil Aggie. We got Zuli the Witch. We got Vaddy Vidya.
So he goes on to name a bunch of content creators. And the stream gets cut. Like this isn't the whole clip, as you saw earlier with the one streamer Mika. So he goes beyond this 2-minute mark. But I just want to. I like this positivity. So the question, Omni had. Why is he popular? He brings hype, he brings energy, and he brings positivity. As we mentioned earlier when we were talking about the Acolyte, like a lot of discussions go around things that are negative in communities and things that we love. Well, the Souls-like community is not only popping, but it's cool to see unity in some form of popular media, and that's why I think this deserves a shout out.
No, I 100% agree.
And the marketing aspect of it, he's taking the DNA that's found in Gen Z streaming, and he's flipping it. He's flipping the script to share his positive message in a code that is mostly used for like selfish reasons. So I like how he's doing that. He's riding that wave, but he's like an antibody to all the bacteria that's out there right now.
Yeah. Shout out to him. I don't know him. I don't think any of us know him personally, but when creators go out there and do good things, I do think it's a good thing to point it out to everybody because who knows who the next big creator is going to be, and if you could follow that person's example, I think it'll make the world a much brighter place. And that's all I want to see. I want to see creativity pop up. I want to see people enjoying their communities and treating their communities with respect. And yeah, shout out to him. If he ever sees this, dude, you rock.
Well, speaking of shouting out creativity,
yes,
it's time.
The favorite part of this show for everybody, Extra Zero, run the clip.
Well, we don't have it in here.
Did I?
Well, never mind.
Oh wait, I lied.
Oh, you booger!
I lied. There we go.
Making me look like a fool.
I was looking in the wrong spot. I apologize. That's on me.
Memes.
So, your favorite segment, my favorite segment, everybody's favorite segment. We have the meme break. And first up, I think this is the first time I've ever memed you, Mo, but I wrote, Mo Zamboni bringing true innovation to the meme scene.
Mashed potato
Nice.
memers.
Nice.
Well, now you need the scene from UHF where he's making the potato volcano and he goes, "This is important. This means something."
Yo, shout out to Steel Leg of History, big supporter of the show, always looking out for the community. Keep up the good work, my dude. Proud of you too. Be blessed to you.
So I forgot to mention early on. So I do weekly meme videos. That it's a labor of love, but I take one of the videos that Gronk Squad does and I fill it with memes. And lately I've been doing Monster Hunter videos, and this was probably one of my favorite pieces of that. And I clipped it because it works as a meme. So this is Mazza and Lethal playing Monster Hunter with a special cameo from Mr. Grant Gregory.
Shout out to the Gronkin crew and everybody on the full Aussie crew. Great guys to cover content on. So freaking entertaining.
Let me know if this has audio or not.
Grand joined.
Yeah.
Grand joined. Grand. It's like the
Grand.
Grand. It's the Woolworths Grand. Grand.
And for those of you who don't know, Extra Zero has been kind enough to send me some of his edits before they come out, so I can review them and give them tips for the next time. I have seen improvement from the last time I did it, and that is in the members section of the YouTube. So if you want to become a member and you're more interested in learning how to edit or picking up tips and tricks, I highly recommend checking that out. Thank you to the full Aussie crew, the Gronk Squad, and Extra Zero for allowing me to do that and educating everybody.
So this one comes from Isaac. So apparently this is why Mo has the virtual background.
Wait, I have a problem with this meme for one reason. What are those colonizer flags doing there?
Well done, Isaac.
Wonderful.
Well done.
So
I'll see you in the chat.
I hate how ads work in here because I'm like, wait, what is this meme supposed to be? No,
Yeah, it's not a meme.
This one was also from me.
Oh man!
If you know, you know. Also
hey,
from
no,
me.
Get that off the screen. Get that off the screen. What are you doing bringing that shit on this?
I can't wait.
We're all cursed now.
It, touches it, it's
no.
cursed. What are you trying to do?
Touches it, but sees it is a different thing. We get two from D-Day McLean. This one, I believe, is Drunk with 3BO saying, it looks like someone has a bad case of the Keanu Mondays.
Unfortunately, we can't play the video he made, but go
Yeah.
check it out. It's in the thread. Do me a favor, Extra, go back up. So, if you guys don't know the history behind it, this item that the person is holding, scroll up so we can see it.
Oh,
is a very cursed item, and if you want your life to be ruined, touch it.
It's the Sonichu medallion.
Yes, it is one of the most cursed items on the planet. I would never recommend getting anywhere near it, let alone. You need to be like that guy in The Mummy who has every prayer memorized in his head with all the beads in order to fight back the bad juju that thing gives you.
Well, funny enough, his nickname's Juju the Cow, so.
All right, let's go.
Dude, that It's a Gundam video is haunting. Like, that is really creepy. Like,
everybody in chat is like, no, 100% cursed. Nope.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
And
So,
I remember, oh my
I
god,
was the Black Power. Nice.
wait,
Yeah.
no, this is actual.
This is actual. Yeah.
Oh,
This is
my
what I was
God.
talking about.
Did CJP freeze?
Yes, my camera.
I love it.
It's a hell of a
Oh,
I
damn.
told
And the
you
curse
not to bring-
begins, folks.
Do not bring the medallion on screen. Bad idea. Nice, core member. I did not know that. Memes
Yeah.
with education, and they're not freaking essays. Great job, my dude. Appreciate you. CJ. For now. We got 160 people watching the meme review, guys. Ah, dude, this is amazing. I think this is the most people who have ever watched this show. You absolutely rock.
Then we get this one from Triss. So Henry Cavill becoming a parent. Triss says, I feel sorry for him having a parent he fears getting a Mazda variant.
Bro, Mazza is one of the easiest people to meme. If you ever watch Gronking or Full Ozzy, you will know what I mean.
That was a great one.
What
that is Nagrinol. That's Nagrinol.
And they put it. They put him on
Ricky
Ricky
Berwick.
body.
Yeah, this was during Leighton gave the GCA. That one I was howling. And
Oh, okay.
Nagrinol's like I'm gonna ban you.
It looks like
Isaac is
somebody
mean.
else is scheming.
Isaac is
Correction
mean.
to the previous meme core member made. Not 3 million.
3
not
million, yeah.
300 million. 3 million.
Still,
It's
Still, it's a good.
It's still a lot. That's
I don't
more
have
than
that in
all
my
of it,
bank
see?
account.
3 million more than me.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Isaac, keep up the good work, my dude. There's some great stuff that you have been making. Keep it up. Remember, a lot of these memes do go on YouTube, so just be smart about what goes up there. The Ryan.
We also get this one from Triss. The Maz apocalypse will destroy us all.
That is the face of death.
All right, just check the take it off screen. Check the tags and oh, guys, great work on the memes. I have been seeing new memers pop up all the time. You guys absolutely rock. Keep it up, and remember,
Got
everybody
one.
is here to help.
I have become Mazza, destroyer of worlds.
So we got this one from Iron.
There you go. Mo has now become the symbol of the Legion of Memers.
Oh no! Oh no! How could you do that to me, brother? How could you do that to me?
Newbie gets
Friendly
newbie.
fire, man! Friendly fire!
Newbies, throw him in the pit. Let's see. Find him out.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
I was trying to be
You wanna
engaged in the conversation while doing that, so not my best work.
I definitely look better than Isaac's. My goodness, he was going to town on me. There's no quarter.
So now's about the time where we start wrapping things up. CJP, my dude, what do you got coming up this week?
Well, you said I got the Forgotten One cast. Still haven't got a guest confirmed for that yet. But I'll be also dropping after that show the second track of the lost 60s band The Flunkies. This one's called got my balls caught in my zipper again.
How'd you get the beans over the Frank?
Exactly. So go check that out because Spicy Dishes is up on the channel. So if you want to go watch some fun with AI, because that's really what I want to use AI for, is just to shitpost.
Hey, man, as long as you're creating art and having fun, that's really all that matters.
And I actually am a real musician, so I can use this and use it properly.
Well, I'm sorry. My talents are not as good as yours. We got Iron Oxide. My dude, what you got coming up this week?
Let's see. Not a whole lot left with the weekend. Going to be over on MSK's for a little bit over on Rumble. I may have a show planned for Sunday over on Devil's channel. I'm waiting to get confirmation about how that's going to be going down. And then you can catch me throughout the week, scattered around until Friday on my show.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Go check out his Twitter. Bro, your Twitter handle is so hard to add.
Yeah, I understand that. It was made before I had any intention of interacting with anyone ever.
So go if you guys want to follow him, go into the Legion thread and find his name on there. Just click it, follow him. Great dude, puts out good content, and is a new member of the Legion of Memers. So we can't wait to see how far he goes. He's been putting out some great work recently.
Thank you.
Mo Zamboni, what you got coming up, mate?
Well, I have. We do our GCA thing, late and gay, with the GCA on Wednesdays, which is straight and on time for the month of June. But I also I do Off the Hip with ABF, which is a real fun nerd channel show that's on Mondays. It's really fun. I hang out with Alec Baldwin's Finger, and we just talk about video games and just random stuff. Just a bunch of nerds shooting the shit. Other than that, I usually do my memes around Tuesday night's main event, and Friday night tights. So, and if there's anything hilarious that pops up that I need to dunk on, I'll definitely be out there. So follow me on X, and I look forward to seeing all the rest of you, except for Isaac.
And just so you know, we cover a whole bunch of shows. You don't have to cover a specific show in our community. Cover any show you enjoy. Hashtag the Legion of Memers, and we will share it out. I want to spread the joy everywhere I can. So whatever shows you guys enjoy, whether it's live streams, pre-records, just have fun. And I want to see the best memes out there for everybody to enjoy. Extra Zero, what do you got coming up, mate?
Well, I got side scrollers on Friday. I'm really looking forward to that. I should be on the main, or not the main Gronking, but the Sunday or Australian Monday show. So tomorrow I'm hoping to be on there, provided I'm done fixing the deck in time. Otherwise, I'll try and be on my Monday, their Tuesday show. I should have another Monster Hunter video coming up on Thursday where they take down the third dragon. And again, side scrollers on Friday. And then on Thursdays, I do my show over on the Figure Action Podcast. If you're into collecting, if you like Transformers or unlicensed figures, if you're into Marvels, the Black Series, or any other line of figures, GI Joes, we talk about all that there. We talk about industry stuff, news. Sometimes we have insiders on. We're getting some people on from the Animal Warriors, the Kingdom comic on our secondary show on Tuesday's Figure Reaction. So go check us out over there. I'm on the Thursday show. My co-hosts run the Tuesday show. But if you're into collecting or any of that sort of stuff, check us out. And I'll be back here on Saturday. And that's about my week. And then also, too, if you're not already following me over on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, I would appreciate a follow. I've crossed the line with 800 followers. I actually have 815 followers. So my goal was to get to 1,000 by the summertime. And I think I'm on trajectory to get there by the end of August. So I appreciate everybody that's followed me. If you like memes, or you want to know anything that's going on with the show, or you want to get in touch with the Legion of Memers, my DMs are open. So feel free to follow me over there. I'd appreciate it. And I think you won't be disappointed.
Absolutely. And just to confirm, Extra Zero is our producer. He takes care of a lot of the back end work. He is one of the main reasons why the show is growing and organized so well. So big shout out to him. He takes care of a lot of the work. So appreciate you, man. Go follow him on Twitter if you want to contact the Legion. And I appreciate everything.
Or if you need help with memes, DMs are open. So
just remember, he cannot answer every 3 seconds. So if you're gonna send it in there, he doesn't answer. He'll get back to you. It might take some time, but he's always looking to help other members, which is what the Legion is all about. It doesn't have to be just Legion of Memers members. You could be a regular Joe being like, hey, I want to do this. How do I do this? And, tips and tricks are always good. And it also helps us create future videos for people who have no idea what they're doing. We can make beginner videos and help everybody out. So if you're having that problem, probably a couple of 100 other people are having the same problem. So don't be afraid to reach out. We got Tiny but Fierce was the guest for the show today. Tiny, thank you for coming today.
My pleasure.
You got anything coming up this week?
Well, tonight I'm on with MSK like I am almost every Saturday, but that's early because for the day, so it's like 5:30 Pacific. I'm on with MSK on Tuesdays, normally later in the day. Wednesdays with the Common Nerd, and when that ends, I try to scoot on over for the last hour or so with Wrong Think with Devil Made Me Do It. And next Thursday, I'm going to be on the debate special with Devil Made Me Do It. And all the people are going to be there to watch the debate together and see if we can actually understand any words coming out of Biden's mouth.
Spoilers, you won't be able to.
But other than that, what?
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
yes, he was.
Under pressure.
But other than that, I'm just kind of floating around. If someone needs a warm body for a show, I'm here.
Shout out to you, Tony. You're always welcome back on. Just reach out to myself or Extra Zero, and we'll have you back on again. Appreciate you coming. And for myself, I am Superman. If he wasn't scared of green rocks, no green rocks for sure. Leader, creator, and founder of the Legion of Memers. Big shout out to everybody who watched today. We've had the most viewers I think we've ever had. So
Other than the Chrissy Mayer episode.
Other than the Chrissy Mayer episode. So big shout out
she brings her Sims with her, so
that's true.
So big shout out to X. I did not expect it. I had very low expectations, but for some
expectations.
Reason, there you go. So big shout out to you. Thank you all for watching. And if you are watching on the different streaming platforms, the Legion of Memers official or Legion of Memers are tagged. We're on Instagram, X, YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey. We're all over the place. So if you see our logo, that is us. Anybody who is not us, well, I'm sorry. We're awesome. We will see you guys all next week. Same time, same place. I will be on the midweek hump this week. Make sure you're following the midweek hump because we have a really cool guest coming up in the next few weeks.
I'll be there
every week.
On that
yes. So we will see you guys all next week. Thank you for watching. And remember, keep on memeing, guys.